we're in for a massive week in macro finance. With Jerome Powell pulling up to Jackson Hole like an offensive quality control coach for the New York Giants, we know that he's ready for either a preseason football game or to deliver some serious comments that move markets and change the world for people like you and me. We're all waiting to hear what he has to say at the FOMC meeting tomorrow and his Jackson Hole comments on Friday. Wall Street is expecting a rate cut at an 83% clip. But not so fast, my friend. Sure, CPI cooled 0.2% and tariffs are generating much more revenue than anyone thought or expected. That doesn't get over the fact that the economy doesn't look so good. The University of Michigan sentiment fell to 58.6, with inflation expectations looking much higher. Poor sales are starting to show up from tariff price increases. Today, we're going to look at what Jerome Powell said last year, how it impacts markets or doesn't, and what this means for markets and Bitcoin simply. In the short term, could we see Bitcoin's price crash like it did in 21, which after Jackson Hole, the price fell from 69K to 17K. It also drove the next several rallies we've seen in Bitcoin. We'll find out today. This is Dante Cook with Bitcoin Simply. Let's go. All right, let's get to the big news. Tomorrow, Jerome Powell has a meeting to update us on the soap opera drama that he has going between him and President Trump. No, I'm just kidding. He's going to come deliver cryptic messages and notes about what he will or won't do, which has been pretty much nothing over the past 4 years. More importantly, on Friday, he's set to deliver comments at Jackson Hole. And for those of you who aren't familiar with Jackson Hole, well, it's an opportunity for rich people to go have meetings at the Grand Teton to talk about economic issues that don't affect them, but impact people like you and me. Specifically, Jerome Powell's comments. It's insane that more people are going to tune in to watch Jerome Powell's comments at Jackson Hole than tune in to watch Tay-Tay and Travis on the New Heights podcast. Don't look at me like that. You watched it too. It's insane. We're like finance junkies. We're so addicted that we're looking for any sign that the money printer is going to come on. And we're looking for any way that we can just get a little hit. You know what I'm saying?
Being like a group of junkies who've relapsed going, listen, man, I just need some liquidity. You know what I'm saying? I just ran into some bad subprime, you know? We just had complex formulas. We just didn't factor in greed and panic, you know? I just need $805 billion by Tuesday. Yeah, no, seriously. No, I would not screw you again. It's pretty crazy.
I've learned my lesson.
No, baby, this is not like the other time. Seriously, I just throw me a bad here, baby.
Just give me,
help me out.
Just give me a little bit.
Yeah, just a taste. That's all I need is a taste. I need $2.5 trillion. I'll pay you back.
Get me through 1 week.
Yeah, it's like they're going to print out a new $20 bill. The new Geithner $20 bill will be, instead of "In God We Trust," it'll just say "Trust me." And it'll be the little man from Monopoly going like that.
It's always so confusing. You're going to leave after watching the Jackson Hole meeting confused. Because last year he said that we can't tolerate for the labor market to weaken anymore. With the economy growing at a solid pace, we're looking for the inflation rate to get to 2%. It's time for our policy to adjust.
So it's Jackson Hole, and it's wonderful that we're all going to be there. It's a different Jackson Hole. A couple weeks ago, Joe Weisenthal was like, yeah, another Jackson Hole. But this, like 07, 08, 09, maybe one since then, this is going to be interesting.
I think this year is going to be fascinating to see how Jay Powell messages this going forward.
Can I bring up a theory that I have? Wouldn't this be an elegant place with all the heritage of the Fed that he announces that he's stepping aside or resigning here?
Really?
Why?
This seems like a long shot.
Okay.
But why do you think that that's appropriate?
I don't know. The news. We're not even to the news where we know. We're taping this. It's uncertain what we're going to see.
So here's my question to you. Yeah. If you were anyone on the Fed, or if you were Jerome Powell, and you truly believe that one of the foremost things that America has going for it is central bank independence, that one of the things that we must cherish across years and years and years of this independence, is there anything, do you think that furthers the cause in some way?
Oh, no, I'm not saying I agree with it at all, but it's just the pressures are so great, and the pressures are even greater with a series of inflation reports into this meeting. This is real inflation we're confronting now.
Potentially more interesting could be Chris Waller and what comments he has after Fed Chair Jay Powell and how much unity Chair Powell actually
or if
tries
Myron
to get.
shows up.
Oh yeah, can you imagine if Myron? Maybe he
We
got.
don't know if he's going or
Is
not.
he
Can I
saying at
ask
your
a dumb
lunch?
question?
He's saying-
Do all the Trumpian candidates show up? Like, is Rick Reeder going to be there, and James Bullard, and the 400 others
Besson
candidates?
is in the lounge talking about his desire for a 50 basis point cut.
Well, Jerome, the labor market is weak. 11% of small businesses now see poor sales due to tariffs, as low as COVID. This is a leading indicator that unemployment will rise above 5% in the coming months. And inflation is at your 2% target. The annualized inflation rate is 1.9% as of July. We have experts that have no clue what he's going to say. I'll make my predictions. I doubt he steps down, and I doubt that he cuts rates. I mean, stocks are at all-time highs, and we haven't seen total collapse in the market. But things don't look good. I mean, things like lumber are saying timber, as lumber prices are falling off a cliff, which is typically a leading indicator or sign that there's a weakening demand in the housing market. And it's not just for residential homes, it's coming for commercial, with office vacancies hitting over 20%. 1 in 5 office spaces in America is now sitting vacant. And the US consumer has no confidence. As I said earlier, the Michigan sentiment hit 58.6, which is the third lowest mark since 1978. 62% of households expect unemployment to rise this year. When people fear job losses, they don't spend, and that creates a flywheel effect in the economy. And on to the deficit. Well, even with tariff money flowing in, nothing's really changed. The U.S. government is still spending like a drunken sailor. U.S. expenditures have reached $600 billion each month over the last 6. In July, the government spent $630 billion, which is up 10% from the same period last year. And after 10 months of this fiscal year, the budget gap has reached $1.63 trillion. Third largest deficit in history. Nothing stops this train. And people in the corporate markets are desperate. There's this term that says don't get high on your own supply. That's mainly used for drug dealers. But as we mentioned earlier, everyone's addicted to the fiat printers. And we're seeing Ponzi's all across the public markets, where companies are borrowing new debt from new investors to pay off old investors. Sounds like a Ponzi scheme. So what's Jerome Powell going to do? I've got my predictions, but it's looking bleak out there. And we'll talk about what implications this has for Bitcoin. But before we do that, let's thank our sponsors. Ledn, since 2018, has been the leader in Bitcoin-backed loans. You can unlock liquidity in your Bitcoin without selling your Bitcoin. They've issued over $9 billion worth of loans to tens of thousands of customers. And the process is smooth, fast, simple, and transparent, as you can get fiat dollars in your account in less than 24 hours. The loan application takes less than 2 minutes, and that's why they have over 1,000 5-star reviews. They're Bitcoin only, and they actually do a proof of reserves, so you can feel confident that your Bitcoin is where they say it is. Loans start at just 12.4%, but you get 0.25% off your first loan by going to learn.ledn.ao/simply. Our next sponsor that we want to thank is the Bitcoin Way. When things are good, it's typically when you want to make preparations for when things are not so good. Like hiring a coach and leveling up your game in self-custody, understanding how it works, how to do it privately, safely, securely. And this is a good time when things are good to protect the value of your Bitcoin so that when things actually hit the fan, you'll feel confident during those time periods. Well, you can feel extremely confident by scheduling a 30-minute consultation with an expert who will walk you through how to be prepared for when stuff hits the fan in just 30 minutes. Schedule a free 30-minute consultation by going to thebitcoinway.com/simplybitcoin. In the short term, if we look at charts, actually kicked off the bear market in 21. This was also in conjunction with the FTX collapse and Sam Bankman-Fried, but we did see Bitcoin prices fall from 69,400 to about 17K, a generational buying opportunity. And the next several Jackson Hole meetings incited several rises in Bitcoin. But in the long term, the long-term structural aspect of the investment thesis in Bitcoin is still the same. Look at this tweet from James Lavish. In the last 20 years, the top 10%'s net worth grew by 72.5 trillion, while the bottom 50% grew by just 2.6 trillion. Relentless money manipulation and asset inflation. Money being printed in fixed supply assets causes the value of those fixed supply assets to go up. It's not rocket science. And it also causes costs for things that we need for our everyday life to go up. Over the last 5 years, here's a few things that have gone up. The price of new cars, 21%, groceries, 24%, family health insurance, 24%, shelter, 28%, used cars, 33%, electricity, 38%, transportation, 43%, gasoline, 44%, home prices, 52%, gas utilities, 56%, fuel oil, 58%, auto insurance, 61%, and eggs, 157%. I don't think inflation's actually at 1.9%, but that's not me. All things continue to be bullish for Bitcoin. We've got Dutch companies like Amdex looking to buy 1% of the total Bitcoin supply. We've got countries like Brazil that are meeting today to discuss a Bitcoin treasury reserve strategy. We've got mayors showing up to Bitcoin conferences to talk about how they can heat pools with Bitcoin mining in Vancouver, Canada. Former White House crypto official, Executive Director Bo Hines, is joining companies like Tether as their U.S. Bitcoin advisor. If you zoom out, although there's nothing really happening in the markets right now, that's when all of the people who are smart investors with a long-term view tend to make the most gains. Who cares about Jerome Powell's comments on Wednesday or on Friday? The result is still the same. The money printer must turn on. Life will get more expensive if you don't have a fixed supply asset that is outrunning the relentless manipulation of the money. The best horse in that race, as the world is moving from analog capital to digital capital, is Bitcoin. Don't overcomplicate the trade. I'm not that smart, and that's why the show is called Bitcoin Simply. If you want to continue to level up on your Bitcoin journey, then I suggest that you come down to the largest Bitcoin mining expo in Dallas, Texas from November 11th through November 13th at the Bitcoin Mining Disrupt Conference. We're going to be there, and we're going to hook you up. Get 20% off your ticket by using the promo code SimplyBitcoin at checkout. Thanks for hanging with me, guys, and I hope this was valuable and informative, and I'm glad to be back. This is Dante Cook with Bitcoin Simply. Happy stacking.